Hello, listeners. Welcome to episode 4 of Barrel Talks. All things gel ball. Got a very special guest on today, Ryan from Summer Tactical. How you doing, mate?
Good, how are you?
Very good. Very good. What a tune. What a tune.
It's a banger.
It's a banger.
It's a banger.
You know what it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, welcome, everybody, viewers, listeners. Firstly, thank you for all of the very positive feedback we've been hearing about these podcasts. I'm glad that everyone is enjoying it. And I think this one's a bit long overdue. I think most people were expecting the first podcast here to be between myself and Ryan.
Yeah.
As most of everyone knows, Ryan and I are very close, very good mates. And yeah, just bringing in for a nice little chat. So thanks for coming in.
It's all good. What number podcast is this?
This is number 4.
Number 4.
For those of you that, I've had a couple of technical difficulties with a few of these podcasts. Our one that we were supposed to do episode 3 together, and that didn't work out very well.
Yeah, that was like last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So this is take 2.
This is take 2. I think this is episode 4. It might be episode 5. I'm not sure.
4 or 5. It's up there.
No, it's episode 4. It's episode
4. Who have you had on already?
Well, I had Cam.
He's good dude.
He's a good dude. Then I had Kabuki.
They're good dudes.
Yeah. Oh, and then I had this is episode 4. There we go. We're rocking and rolling, off to a good start.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I'll just pop the question, mate. What got you into gel ball? How did you start in gel ball? What's your whole story behind it?
I actually did a video on this way back when the Gel Blaster Association of Australia actually did the hashtag My Blaster Story, and I uploaded it on Cormac 17 YouTube channel for anyone that wants to go and check it out. I go in a bit more detail, but I got into the sport pretty much just after all the issues that went around 2016 with Peter from Tack Edge and Court and all that kind of stuff when they were like legally a toy. And that sort of case brought to light gel blasters for me, and I seen them in the media. I was like, they're pretty cool. let's go get one.
Let's give it a crack.
Let's give it a crack. So yeah, I just got a blaster and started looking around at fields where I could go and play. The first field that I attended was a place down at Logan Home, I think it was. That doesn't exist anymore. I can't remember what it was called now. But I went down there for the first time and played some games and just fell in love with the sport. But I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anyone that was playing down there or anything like that. So
you just went by yourself? Just
by myself. I didn't have any friends or anything like that that got into it. So got a blaster, played for a little while, and then Wacol were looking to open up a field, so it's a bit closer to home, and I went and checked it out. And this is before it was called Milson Meese in the Village. It was, I don't think it had a name back then. It was just Wacol. Went down there and met Travis and Wounded, even before sort of Wounded Heroes were the primary sort of, primary provider down there.
The field,
Yeah, got involved in that, and I started reffing down at Milson Meese pretty early on.
Yep.
And then met pretty much everyone in the community from that point. I met you. We didn't realise at the time, but we actually met down there.
No, you were reffing my first ever gel ball game.
It's a funny story, because we only found this out not long ago. But not only, you were there, I think it was the day that you went down there was the CQB. It was
the field on the football field.
On the football field, we said it because for those that have probably only recently got into the sport, back in the day, the junkyard didn't exist. That wasn't part of the field. It was just the football field out the front of Wounded Heroes. That was the field, and it was just those sort of... It
was like the panels, you put them up before the game and the scanning's taken down. Pretty good system.
Yeah, it was just on a trailer, and we just take them out and set it up, and set up different sort of little towns and things like that. And people just come down. I mean, it was big back then. It was good. I think when I was there, there were 35 people or something like that on a... it was on a Saturday. One of the biggest days we did was... Again, I can't remember. I'm horrible with names, but we did this CQB sort of maze where we put all the panels into just one big sort of building, made it really tight. Labyrinth.
Like a kill house style thing.
Like a kill house. What is now Fort Lang I believe. It was like the initial iteration of that on the oval. And it was, Labyrinth, I think it was called. That was the event name, so way back. And I think like 100 and something people rocked up to that. It was huge.
Holy.
Yeah, it was massive. Like heaps of people came down. And again, on the video I posted on my YouTube channel where I talk about my blaster, is actually footage of that specific day. And there's people in that like Raymond. From Mad Dogs is in there, and there's just like all these people from the community go, I know that person.
Yeah,
like back then, no one was really anything because it was such a new sport. But I look back on that video now and go, he has a Gel Blaster shop now. He's doing this. He's doing that. It's like really cool to look back on that. But that was when
it's good archival footage. Good archival footage. Gel Ball.
And that was where my sort of introduction to the sport really took off, was when I got to Waco, and because there weren't many fields at that time. Like, you couldn't really go anywhere. That was one of a couple of fields that are operating. So that was where I started my time, and then I was there for quite some time actually until Rapid opened. Really, Waco was my home field.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I remember you because we had our meeting. I think when you were starting Summit, correct? Or Summit had started before that, or it was in the works.
So Summit as an idea has existed since I got into the sport, just because it was like, I wanted to do the things that we teach now that I never got to do when I was in the military. I did a very little bit of CQB stuff when I was in, because I was a mounted infantry unit. So I didn't do a lot of CQB stuff compared to, say, infantry guys or SF or anything like that. So I wanted to get in and learn that myself and do that in Gel Ball, because like, what a place to do it. But no one offered anything like that. So I'm like, I'd love to get in and do something like that. But there weren't any CQB fields back then. Yeah, we built these little CQB rotations every weekend, a little bit, but it wasn't anything like that. And then a mutual friend of ours, Shane, teed up a meeting between us, because we went to the Gel Blaster Association meeting that was at...
that was... Yeah, I can't remember what it was. But
ages ago. But it was sort of like, there's quite a few people there, influential people in the community, a lot of field owners and people that were involved quite heavily went down there to that. And we were there sitting next to each other.
I had no idea.
Didn't say a word to each other.
No idea.
Because we didn't know each other back then. And I remember saying after that meeting, I'm like, he's got some really cool ideas. I want to have a chat to him. But you were preoccupied. A lot of people would come and talk to you because of what you'd been mentioning at that meeting. So I went, whatever, and just kind of left. That was it. I thought I'd never see you ever again. But then Shane had talked to you.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And then I ran into Shane at M4, and he said, I've been chatting to this dude, Luke. He was at this meeting, because I knew Shane. Shane seen me at the meeting. He goes, I talked to this dude, he's looking at starting the field on the north side, CQB. He's like, you should have a meeting with this guy. Because Shane had an inkling about what I wanted to do with Summit. Before Summit had a name, this idea, this concept. So I talked to Shane about it, and he went, have a chat to this Luke guy. Might be something in it. I don't know. Maybe not, but why not?
Yeah.
So he teed up the meeting, and he had us in a group chat, and we sort of, let's have a meeting. We caught up at Chermside and had a drink, whatever. And this is before Rapid.
This was before Rapid was an actual
You had
field.
everything ready to go, and you had this field now. I think you had just signed off on it.
I think I just signed off on this building,
but the field itself didn't exist. And we had that meeting, and you talked about what you wanted to do with not only Rapid, but the sport and, your idea of going into the future. So instead of going, I'm starting a field and I'm doing this, this, and this, you were like, 5 years from now, I'd love to see this in the sport. 5 years from now, I want to see this happening.
Yeah, it was a meeting that was like, well, here's what's happening now, but I don't want to talk about that. Let's set a goal for the next 3-5 years. How do we work together? All that kind of stuff.
What I liked was you weren't just like, I'm starting a field and this is it. Like that, the discussion was so much about just like where you wanted to go. And a lot of what you were saying was like, I really like that. I see where you're trying to go, and that's something I'd love to be a part of in some capacity. So I'm like, cool. And then obviously talking about CQB, and I said to you, well, I have this idea about doing workshops, doing CQB stuff. You're starting CQB field. Maybe we can arrange something.
I think at that time as well, we were watching all of our YouTube homepages were identical on the stuff that we wanted to perform.
Just all the CQB stuff you could think of was just like in our feeds. Obviously, most people probably familiar with UF Pro and Eli Fieldboy, Project Gecko, and all that kind of stuff. Ronin Tactical, Haley Strategic, etc., etc. I mean, like that's
Lucas
what our
Botkin
fields consisted of. And obviously our god and idol, Lucas Botkin,
Grand
Thumb, these guys. So it was like, we could do something like that here, because that simply doesn't exist here. And if it does, it's restricted to certain people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like SF and
Absolutely.
law enforcement. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So Summit got a name at that point, and then it was sort of, we were helping you start the field, and it just kind of grew from
It progressed really fast. Like we did I remember we did that first photo shoot together. We did the videos together.
Yep.
We did the test games, all that.
Yeah.
It went really fast, like 0 to 100 really quickly.
It started really quickly. You got the field built, and then we had all this, all these ideas. And then obviously in the background, COVID-19.
Yeah, it was just creeping up.
It's like, oh, that's nothing big. It's like bird flu. Like, it's going to be all right. Nothing's going to happen here in Australia.
Whoops.
You do the trial game. Sloperators come down. Who was the other team?
I think it was just Sloperators at that point.
Mainly Sloperators came down. It was an invite. Dan Tyne did a live here. We were here for that. And that was the weekend. That was the Saturday.
Yeah.
And then Sunday night was when the Prime Minister got on TV and said, we're
locking
down the country. Like, this is, and that was like, what do we do now? Like, you've just done your trial opening of the field, and now we're in restrictions. So we used that time to.
Yeah, we did.
We were making videos. We're doing photo shoots. Like,
anyone who hasn't seen any of them, like if you jump over to Summit's YouTube channel, there's a fair few videos that we've done together over there.
Yeah, and photo shoots, Instagram, and all that kind of stuff. You can see some of the photo shoots that we're doing. And that was really good. That was a good way of just kind of like keeping current during that pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. I think that really helped as well, be prevalent in the sport while it was, in a hiatus.
I think exactly. Was the big thing, like obviously every field was shut down. So it was like no one's doing anything gel ball related. Obviously retailers were still getting stock in and people were buying stock, but then there was nowhere to go and play with it because you couldn't go on.
Yeah, you couldn't.
So we were kind of keeping the content going, hey, look, here's some cool videos, here's cool photo shoots, see what we're up to. So, people were like, yeah, when these restrictions are off, like, we're going rapid, we're going to go play, we're going to do CQB. And during that time, I worked with Rob, who was one of the sort of founding instructors as well with Summit, to build what is now the foundations to CQB, like level 1 course. So built the business from scratch, wrote all the course material from scratch, and then obviously once the restrictions eased and Rapid opened, was implementing that, training it, and then practicing it, making fine adjustments to what we were delivering. So we had like this really cool package.
I mean, even before the field actually opened to the public, we were running. You were trialing all your courses on me and the teachings and that,
because we couldn't have anyone.
Yeah,
we couldn't do trial like Summit courses because of the COVID restrictions. So it was like, well, we're not doing anything at the moment. When we're not doing a video or something, let's do some summer stuff. So upstairs, in what is now like the range or whatever,
and the shop.
In the shop, I mean, that was before the shop existed. It was, let's do Summit stuff. Let's train, and we just trained over and over and over again, practicing this stuff, and then use that to continue to develop. So then we came up with what we, believe is the best, CQB methodology for gel ball.
And you've been running workshops at the moment. How many workshops have you done already?
We've done four full courses, and then we've done independent bookings as well. So
yeah. And that course is level 1, introduction
level
to
one,
CQB?
Yeah. So at the moment there's 3 courses that we're working on. So level 1, foundations to CQB, is that introduction to CQB. What is CQB? How do you do it? And it's all individually based. So it's, because most people when they're playing, even if you're with a group of friends, you often find yourself like alone on the field, to an extent where maybe your mates get taken out, or depending on the game modes, like if you play at Rapid, some of the game modes are individual based. So it was like, how do we give people an introduction to CQB, but give them something they can take away and start practicing instantly? So Summit being small unit movement and individual tactics, we focus on the individual tactics to start with so that you can learn to do this stuff by yourself. So room clearances, how to handle a blaster safely, all that kind of stuff. And it's really great because we've had a lot of people that have come in on the course that have never done anything like weapon related whatsoever. They've gone to a retailer, purchased a blaster, and then they don't know what to do with it after that. Yeah, they can go to a field, but they don't know what they're doing when they get there.
Yeah.
So that foundation is really great for people that just have no experience in that side of things, to really teach people how to hold it, how to move with it, all that kind of stuff, so that they got that base skill. Then we move on to doing the CQB.
I think from watching like from hanging around, obviously, because I've opened the field for you guys to come and run it. What's been good is that, like, even though blasters aren't a real firearm, is the way that you teach in terms of your blaster handling is not only like how do you manipulate it in the field, but how do you take care of it? How do you walk it to the field in a case, whatever, which is fundamentally very important. And, most of the regulars and long-term gel ball players know, carry it in the box and stuff. But I've had first-time gel ballers rock up to the field with blasters in plastic bags and all that kind of stuff. And it just helps to have that knowledge and have someone teach, well, this is how you present a blaster. This is how you carry it. This is how you keep it safe. Essentially, this is how you own a blaster. Yeah. Which is very good.
Yeah, it's like not the technical stuff of, this is how you service a gas blowback and this is how you pull this apart. And it's not like that. It's just, like you explained, if I buy a blaster, how do I get it to a field? How do I get it home? What are those things I need to keep in mind? Obviously, Stop and Think campaign. And it's all well and good going. The Stop and Think campaign says it must be covered at all times, don't take it out in public, etc. But then people go, well, how do I get it there? What are my options? Because otherwise I'm going to take it in a plastic bag. I'm going to wrap it in a sheet or something. So it's like, hey, look, you've got hard cases, you've got rifle cases and things like that you can use that are going to help you transport around. So then they go, oh, well, I've actually got a practical way. I've seen what it looks like, how to do it properly. Now I can take that knowledge and go and apply that to my blasters.
Yeah, it's good. And so are you doing any more level 1 workshops, or where are you at now with those courses?
So for the time being, we've stopped level 1. And we're just finalising the details of level 2. So we wanted to do just a core group, like 4 or 5 courses of level 1 of these workshops, just to get enough people that we can move on and do level 2. So we're at that point now. We're just finalising the details for level 2, which is all team-based, duel-based, tactics. So you need to know the individual stuff first, and then when we start working with a team, everyone that's coming on to do the course has a basic understanding of CQB and how to do it alone. Now we can incorporate that into working as a team, because once you know that, then you're going to start dominating on the field. So level 1 for the time being has stopped. Of course, if there's teams that want to have us come and do level 1, we're more than happy to do that. But in terms of like public workshops, for the time being, they've stopped while we work on finishing level 2 and then delivering level 2, which is, all the small unit stuff.
All the small unit. That'll be exciting. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should be good. It's like I said, we haven't just like watched a YouTube video and then gone, okay, that's how they do it. Write it down. Bang, that's the course. It's
you've set it up, because for those of you who know Rapid, we're a family-run business. So like my dad even paid for a course and jumped in, and he said it was one of the best courses that he's done. Yeah. And he had a lot of fun as well. He really, really liked that.
We've had a bit of everyone. We've had ex-military come and do it. We've had, former AFP officers come and do it. We've had like a wide array of people that have no experience whatsoever. People that have been playing gel ball for a while that just wanted to see what it was about. So it's been good to capture like a wide array of people and go, look, it's not just for this person. It's a collective.
Yeah.
You might go, I know how to handle a blaster. I'm all sweet with that. That's fine. But there are parts of the course where you go, oh yeah, I don't really know that. So the course is designed where no matter what your experience level is, you're going to learn something. I guarantee.
Yeah, absolutely.
I absolutely guarantee. I stand by that. So we've written it all to be gel blaster related. We're not just taking videos we've seen online or whatever and then just applying it. We are learning what the methodology is and applying it. So I play and utilize the tactics I'm going to teach. So with level 2, that's what I've had to do. We've got all our instructors ex-military. So it's like, okay, look, this is the methodology I want to teach. Small unit stuff, working as a pair with the knowledge that we've got now. How do we tackle this, and this? And we work out how it works best. What's the best flow? What's the easiest way to teach it? Once we've got that, bang, that's what gets written in to the doctrine, if you will.
Yeah.
And then that's what builds the course. So it's not just we watch this and this is what happens. It's like, no, we've applied this. We use this when we play. We've tested this and this is where we're at. Now we're ready to teach that to you so you can take that and then apply that. We use it like the analogy like it's a toolbox. So when you come and start with, you might have a toolbox that's got a certain number of tools in it that are going to help you in the gel blaster world. When you do level 1, we put a whole bunch of tools in there, which is the knowledge. Then that way, when you approach a certain situation, you've got a toolbox of knowledge that you can pull out and use as you want to use it for whatever situation you're in.
Yeah.
So we're just constantly trying to add to that toolbox, giving you more options for when you play. That's
Which
what the goal
it's
is.
very important. It's very important, and that's prevalent in any sport. Like you need to have coaching, and this is a sport. So
yeah, it's like anything, most people know how to play AFL, but if you're playing at the AFL level, I mean, it's not, they don't just rock up to training and just kick a football around and then that's it. Like they strategize and they work out, what's the best way of doing this? If this situation happens, then we've got to do this. And then as a team, we're doing this. There's a lot of tactic involved in it, like any sport. Same as tennis, same as swimming, Olympics. Like there is strategy to how people do things. So that's what we're there for, is to go, look, if you have a basic knowledge of how to play gel ball, then that's fine. But we can give you some more skills that you can use, that you can take anywhere. And what we teach isn't just for here. It's not just for CQB fields. You can take what we teach and use it anywhere. Milsim, outdoor fields, skirmish fields, speedball.
Probably. Yeah, speedball probably.
Yeah.
There are a couple of speedball players that have done the course. I saw
a couple of speedball players that have done the course that have taken something away and now they can apply that when they're playing. What we teach is a skill set. So you can use those skills in certain situations. And it's great. I love seeing people that have done the course have reached out and said, look, I went and played at so-and-so field and I used a couple of things that you taught and it just made a difference to how I played. I was able to get a kill, or, I still died, but I lasted longer on the field. I felt more confident in the way I was playing. Instead of like relying on my team to go forward and then I'd kind of go in behind them and just kind of see how I go, I'm leading the team. I'm going out there first and getting kills or getting killed, but I've got that confidence to go and do it because I have knowledge of what to do now. And that's great for people that want a bit more confidence when they play. Do a course.
Yeah, that's really good. So for those of you watching, listening, definitely, where can they find that?
Look, you follow us on social media. So we're pretty much Summit Tactical at everything: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Summit Tactical Solutions. We post the courses across all our social medias when we're running them. So as long as you're following us somewhere, you'll get the information when the course is.
Definitely do that, guys. It's well worth it.
Well worth it.
Speaking from experience here. Yeah. No, that's good. And I mean, so you went from Wacol, CQB, indoors, outdoors. What's your preference? What do you like to play? I know we've done some milsims together as well. Yeah. That was a good time.
It was a good time. I like a bit of everything. I can't really say I like one as a favourite. CQB is good because it's the equaliser. It doesn't matter how fit you are. It doesn't matter how good your blaster is. It doesn't matter if you've got the U-Butte hop up or whatever. You can rock up to a CQB field with whatever blaster you got and whatever fitness level, and generally you can do okay if you've got a basic knowledge of how to manoeuvre through the field and you're pretty quick on the trigger. So I like that aspect of CQB because it just equalises the field.
Yeah.
And it makes you get a fitness that your body's not used to. It's not so much running around and just like, I'm exhausted because I'm hot. It's like you're thinking about so much. And I think that really is exhausting. So I really like that aspect of it. Milsims are great because it's just fun to have like huge amounts of people in one field, just like going hammer and tongs and using tactics and doing some of that stuff that is military based. I'm ex-military, so it is fun to, go back and relive the good parts about being in the military and being outfield. So I do enjoy that. And then it's always fun to just do something different, like go to a skirmish field or go outdoor fields and then just run and gun and see how you go. It's good to mix it up and it just keeps things fresh.
Variety. What, I mean, like we play together a lot.
Yeah.
What was probably for you, what was I'll say mine and then, well, you say yours and I'll say mine.
No, you say yours first. Whatever you're going to ask.
It's more like one of our, I guess, better games that we've played together in situations. For me, I think it was for sure the Milsim.
Yeah, the Milsim at Toowoomba was probably right up there, only because it's the first Milsim we'd gone to together, but you'd been to the Milsim previously, which I haven't. I had never played there, and this is at Toowoomba, so we decided to go down there
we went as PMC.
We went as PMCs, which was pretty fun. And we had a bit of a unique role out there.
We did, yeah. We had a bit of a role.
Yeah,
But I think I'm speaking about specifically the final battle of that day.
It was pretty epic. I've had some good games, but that was probably up there as one of those epic moments that you won't forget.
Yeah, because we did it like throughout the Milsim, we did a lot together, and we were role playing and then refereeing and all that kind of stuff. But I think in terms of gameplay that we've played together was that final battle, and it was good to have the Vantage team as the last 4 people.
Yeah, we're the last people alive.
Last five people alive defending the hill.
And we were going to die no matter what.
Yeah,
the way the
absolutely.
Milsim was set up was that we were going to get eliminated, and that was the end of the Milsim. But to be the last ones alive was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that would rate for me as one of my favourite games with you. What about you?
Look, it's definitely up there. To be honest, one of the games that we did at Urban Gelball,
yeah, that was good fun.
That was really good too. We got an invite up to Urban. We did a staff only, so they had their refs and field owners, and then we went down there and played with them. And that was a lot of fun as well, because we had just got those manual shotties.
Yeah.
And I had that down. When I purchased the Dirty Harry while I was there, and we were just mucking around. It was just a bit of a fun trip down there.
No, I reckon the second game we played at Urban for the private night.
Yeah, that was
good. Where we went
good.
down.
We've had some good games down at Urban. If you haven't been there, go and check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
It's different
check
to
out
Rapid. If you've done CQB here but not up there, go and check it out, because it is different in a fun way. It's good. But look, there's been some.
Waco was a good time in the rain.
Waco was good. So when we went down there, we organised to go down to Waco. It was an invite only event. I'm not sure how many people were there, but Trent from Soft Dots was there.
Yeah.
Ray from Mad Dogs was there. Like it was a good group of people.
Yeah.
We rocked up, and on the way there, it was a bit how
it was a little bit cloudy.
It was like, it should be all right. We'll be fine. As soon as we get there, we're doing the brief. Halfway through the brief, it absolutely pours down.
Torrential rain. And not only rain, like high winds as well.
High wind. It was coming sideways. It was like, this is the end of the event. Like, no one's going to play in this. So we're standing there huddled in this little area trying to avoid getting wet. Because we had metal blasters. We brought our SLRs down. We're like, we don't want to get these wet because these are new. And then I remember you said, let's just go.
Let's get out.
Go.
Like, why
we're
going to
get wet. Yeah. Let's just go. So I grabbed a rental AK.
That's
rental
right.
AKs. You grabbed your blaster.
No, I think I grabbed someone's ARP. I think it was Nathan's ARP.
And we just walked out there, just us two. Walked out in the field. It was like mud. It was slush. Right down to, it's changed now, but the containers were, a little CQB area. And by the time we got out there was like a few other game styles went, we're coming down. So Trent Sotos came down, Ray, they all came down. And we had this like epic CQB battle in the wet.
Actually, you can see it. If you
follow either of us, I think we both got videos of that up, haven't we?
Yeah, we do. But there's one, Soft Ops has a post it of you and me copping 2 hits at the crates there.
And also a really good video of Cam just eating
absolutely eating. Yeah.
Just almost full scorpion. It's amazing. So go and check it out, Soft Ops.
That was a good time. That
was a really just to start in a really crappy weather, like, this is the event, it's done, and it actually ended up being one of the best times.
Yeah, I think that's what I like about Gelball is like if you get over that fact of like, the wind, it's not perfect weather, so my gels aren't going to fly, and I'm not going to. Who cares?
Yeah,
just get out and play.
Get out and play and have fun. It was such a good day. And there weren't an awful lot of people down there, but it was really good with who came down to play. Some awesome footage came out of it.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that. It was a ball. Milsim East, like the Milsim they did, which was Eastern Predator, which you didn't go to.
I didn't go. No.
That was a good event. There's plenty of people that'll be listening and that probably went to that. I died. Metaphorically and almost physically.
I've heard the stories.
That was a pretty good event too. A lot of people went to that. So Milsims are good, and they're starting to become a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Popular.
I was just at the Milsim this weekend at Toowoomba, the Conquest.
Yeah, I didn't go to that one, unfortunately. I had some other things on, but how was it?
It was pretty epic, actually. It was like 8 teams of 5, all trying to capture victory locations for 24 hours. It was a very good time.
Yeah,
very good time.
Got another one coming up in October.
Yeah.
Restrepo style.
Yeah.
For anyone that hasn't seen Restrepo, go and check that out. It's a really good documentary.
Absolutely. No, it was a good time. I quite like Milsims. Speaking of Milsims, what's I know they don't know, but I know they don't know what I know.
Yeah.
You have quite the array of loadouts. I think you and me
got a lot
build
of
loadouts as hobbies and
Yeah.
enjoyment. What's your go-to outdoor loadout and what's your go-to indoor loadout?
Outdoor loadout. So, yeah, look, I got so much multicam, it's coming out of my ears. So, usually for outdoors, I'd wear multicam. I've got like, what I really like, I've got a pair of 511 multicam pants and I've got a Condor 511 short sleeve shirt, which I've never seen anyone else wear. That was my go-to outdoor. Now that's changed. We got AOR2.
AOR2.
So that's from Emerson. So that's probably going to be the go-to outdoor setup.
We need to get the AOR2 vests.
Need to get AOR2 vest, but that's the cam pattern, I think, of the future for us.
Yeah, I think it looks epic
awesome.
when it's all
It's a
together.
bit different.
Yeah.
If you don't know what it is, Google AOR2.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it's
good
cool.
time.
You would have seen it before. Indoor, we've had a few iterations of good indoor. We had the all grey loadout, which I still think's right up there because no one else does it. So
Yeah,
all
the
grey is
full
pretty
war
cool.
grey loadout.
So
was
we've
good.
got grey vest, grey shirt, like the whole bit, which is really, really cool.
We've got our Ranger Green loadouts as
Ranger
well.
Green loadout's the current probably indoor loadout of choice,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Just
Good
something
colour.
different, like it, multicam's just done to death. You won't catch me wearing DPCU because I wore that when I was in. I just like something a little bit different.
Yeah, it's good to change it up.
Good to change it up.
What about your blasters? I know you've got a lot. What's your blaster of choice indoors?
Oh, so many to choose from. Number one would have to be the MP5. The LDT Warrantless MP5. You can't fault it. I've done nothing to mine except change the buttstock into the SD style.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So that's the go-to. Like you can't beat it. Stick mags, it's best blaster.
Do you like changing mags? Do you get an enjoy? Because I quite like. There's a lot of people that run drum mags, but I run 7 MP5 mags, and I very much enjoy having to change mags.
Yeah, mag changing is one of those things. I've actually, because I've been quite busy and haven't been able to get out to games, with just personal life, I've actually spent quite a lot of time at home mastering. I wouldn't say mastering, it's probably not the right word, but practicing, reloading, because it's just something no one practices.
But
I'll
it's
take that
essential.
back. There's a couple of people I've seen doing videos on it, which I think is awesome, but a lot of people don't do reloads, and it's really awkward to watch those people. And it's like almost everyone at a field when they're not running a drum mag and they go to reload, and it's like really convoluted process, and people don't really know what they're doing when it comes to reloading. So I prefer mags over a drum mag, as long as you put the practice into actually how to reload it, especially when you're doing something. So
It's kind of a universal method too.
Yeah.
Like I think there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, I run stick mags and an M4, then an AK, and it's like, well, it's kind of pretty much the same technique. It's just different mag releases, essentially.
yeah, you just got to practice it. Like
Yeah.
I know when we were in the military, not only did we practice doing mag changes just until your fingers got sore, but also doing mag changes while running. Because a lot of the times, if you're putting down suppressive fire, which happens a lot in gel ball, or you're moving between cover, bang, 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 and you run out of ammo, you need to be able to change your mag while you're moving and doing something else. You can't stop and do it because then you're exposing yourself. Murphy's Law, the moment you take your mag out is when someone pops around a corner and
And
grabs
gets ya.
you. So you always want to try and
Minimise it.
maximize the amount of things that you can do while you're moving, and reloading is one of them. But man, I tell you what, if you're at home and you're just like watching TV or something, pull your blaster out, the one that you're going to use, and just practice taking the mag off, put the mag on.
Practice.
Personally, like whether you want to put it back into into a mag pouch or something like that, that's up to you. I'm a big fan of dump pouches, so I'll pull a magazine out of a mag pouch onto my blaster, and I'll just discard into a dump pouch, which is what it's designed for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Depending on the blaster I'm using, I'm looking to go to like it's a Kublai, new Kublai model cone. It looks a bit like the ARP9, and I'm going to convert that into an M4 SMG, so it's going to run stick mags. And so what I'm actually thinking of doing to go with the Ranger Green loadout for indoors is actually just running 2 dump pouches, one with magazines that are full, one with magazines that
that's
an empty dump
interesting.
pouch. So I can actually just pull straight from a dump pouch. So I'm just going to try and mix it up and try something different. And that's what it is. Experiment. Find out what works for you. Because I don't just go with one method. I'll practice everything. Even if it sounds silly, I'll go, that's a really silly idea. But But then I'll try it and I'll go, there's some merit to that. Or no, that's just a silly idea. I think it's important you try and see what works for you.
I think it's fun when the idea doesn't work and you're stuck with that idea for the entire game and you've kind of got to make do with what you've got and be versatile in gameplay.
Versatile, especially now, you've got a gas shotgun now. I just picked up the Salient Arms.
The gas shotguns. Different gameplay, very different gameplay.
And reloading is completely different. Using shells now, you're not even using a magazine, so you get familiar with how to load those shells up.
Yeah, I very much enjoy it though.
It's something different. That's what I like about it. It's like, between real firearms and gel blasters, airsoft, whatever you want to call it, there is a big crossover in terms of what you do on a blaster. You do on a real firearm. You take magazines, put magazines, you load shells, it's all the same. So use that to get proficient. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I want to be as proficient as I can when I go and play. And, I sort of sit there and go, what are my deficiencies when I play? Reloading. You know what I mean? If I'm using an MP5 with a stick mag, it doesn't take that many gels, so you run out of ammunition really quickly.
Yep.
So what do? I run out of ammo. I need to get my reloads down. But if I'm using something else like the saw, it's a box mag. I don't need to focus on reloads.
Yeah.
It's not, adjust your gameplay to suit. But spend some time practicing.
That's good. Yeah, good advice, ladies and gentlemen. You hear it here first from Mr. Ryan from Summit. Practice. As a field owner, I don't see enough of it at the fields, and I see people get caught out all the time.
We're getting better quality stuff too. We're getting metal mags. The big issue I have with blasters up until probably this time is with the nylon stuff. The blasters feel strange. The magazines feel strange. The mag wells are strange. In some cases, people are having to grind out the inside of their mag wells to make the mags actually go in and out smooth. So the blasters aren't set up for good mag changes. They're quite difficult. Now we're starting to get predominantly metal blasters with metal mags and stuff like that. Now we're actually getting the ability to have really smooth magazine transitions because metal on metal is smoother.
Absolutely.
And this is that time to get that practice in.
Definitely. We're actually heading out to a game tomorrow night, you and me, where I think I'm going to run the MP5 and the shotgun. That's all I'm going to take.
MP5 and shotgun, it's probably the same for me.
I ran the 74U, AK-74U this weekend, or last weekend, with the Honey Badger. It's I think my outdoor games, but I think I'm going to confine my indoor kit to just using the MP5, get used to that format.
Yeah, look, as much as I love the MP5, until we get the all-metal one, which is supposedly coming soon, I'm still a big fan of the M4. I've got an all-metal M4 by Gelsoft Industries that is just the bee's knees for blasters, and I've never seen anyone else rock
What mags was that?
Metal mags.
Metal mag. You got the metal mags for that, right?
Yep, War Interest metal mags. And you can get metal glow gel mags as well.
Yeah, I've seen them.
And that's, again, that smooth transition between your magazines. Metal on metal is quite smooth. Yeah. So I'll probably take the M4 down tomorrow as well, just for something a bit different.
Yeah. Do you like everyone's had this debate between the blasters, whether it's heavy or light or whatever. Me, I like heavy blasters. I prefer the weight. What about you?
Light? I like metal because I like metal on metal. It just makes more sense to me. But I can't stand the weight. It's why I don't like AKs. And we've had this debate back and forth for as long as we've known each other in terms of whether you like M4s better or AKs. And I look at M4s and AKs like, Holden and Ford. You can like both, or you can pick one and like that more, whatever. But I kind of like, it's not like I don't like AKs. I think they're a great looking blaster. They're just a good blaster.
I just think it's the weight. You haven't tried the 74U. You haven't played a game.
I've got an AK-74M, an all metal Azrael's AK-74M. And in terms of build quality, it's amazing. We took them to the Milsim at Toowoomba. And it was faultless. I had neither of it. We didn't have an issue with our blasters.
Same this weekend.
If you want an AK, I can't endorse, and we're not paid for by Azrael's, but go and get yourself an Azrael's AK because they are awesome.
This weekend, it was our Milsim we played was wet. This Milsim was dusty and dry, and I threw that AK. I was hitting the deck on the guts, throwing it, using it to climb, over mounds and defilades and stuff like that, and just kind of opening it up, giving it and then slap it back down and go for it, and one battery.
Yeah, like a real AK, just faultless.
Just worked, and there's nothing like that that blowback system.
Yeah, but
It's so loud. Like everyone's like, "Oh, I know where you are because I can hear it on the field." Just
yeah,
it's good.
just don't like the weight. Just the big issue I had at Toowoomba was it.
I think
it was
yours is
faultless.
just very front heavy.
Yeah, I mean, even yours, like, it's more compact. You got the 74U, which is.
I find it so
more
light.
compact. It's still heavy. When I compare
Your
that
M4 is heavier.
with the attachments, it is definitely.
I think even without, like, we should do that. We'll weigh it.
Should do a weight test, but it's distributed more evenly on the M4.
Yeah.
Because the handguard is just as heavy as the receiver, which is counterbalance with a battery. So you got even weight across the whole platform.
Yeah.
Whereas the AK, the battery
Everything
sits on
sits in the
top where
front.
the receiver is, and then you've got a metal receiver that extends to your handguard, and then you've got either wood or plastic buttstock. So the weight's like this. It's very front heavy, no matter what configuration. So that's my biggest complaint with the AK is it's just very front heavy, no matter what platform you're using.
Yeah.
Especially when you add attachments onto it as well. And I've seen people actually at the Milton that you went to, they had the GP30, so the underbarrel grenade launch on the AKs as well. And I can't only imagine the amount of weight. you know what I mean?
That,
But in saying that, I do have an all metal underbarrel grenade launcher for the M4, which I put on the M4 here when I got it, and it was just ridiculously heavy.
Yeah,
like you couldn't
heavy.
use it anywhere. So I don't run it, but it's more just for display. But they're both heavy, definitely.
Absolutely.
But I like the balance of the M4, which is why I like that platform a little bit more. I still think the AKs are great, just not for me.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I mean, it's each everyone to their own. It's personal preference. That's what all of this is, personal preference. There is no right, there is no wrong, there is no better way to do it.
And it's not, for me, it's not AK versus M4. That's not how I look at it, because there's just so many other great platforms. There's so, the MP5, where does that fall into that argument? It doesn't, because it's a different...
It's its own thing.
It's a different thing.
It's like you've changed your MP5 buttstock, but I've kept the original one because I like that better.
Yeah.
It's how you play. It's what you practice with. Like I'm sure I would pick up your MP5 and just be like, whoa, what is this? Because I'm not used to it.
Yeah. There's just so many different platforms out there, and people are doing some pretty wild things with it. So I like it. I like the fact that people are still rocking the Vector, people are still rocking the Gen 8. I like the fact that people are still keeping up with these other blasters that are probably a bit more dated to a lot of the metal stuff coming out, but we're still seeing people use these and turning them into HPA systems now because they're so light.
Yeah.
So that's another big advantage to some of these older blasters. So
Yeah.
I've still got this is cool. I've always thought about doing something with this. I've got an original, I don't know what the exact model is. It's basically like a really long ABS plastic M4, one of the original gel blasts that came out. First of the non-hopper fed, really old school.
Wow. You want to turn it HPA?
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool on HPA. Like the barrel in it is like, tubing. It's not metal. It's just tubing. It's really old school. It shoots like 99 FPS. Like it's rubbish. But I thought, imagine gutting that out and putting HP on something like that, because it's just like you'd look at it and go, "What? This is like some vintage blaster."
Yeah.
In fact, I've seen a photo. Someone, I don't want to get the person wrong in case it wasn't them that did it, but someone took one of the SKDs and made it HPA, and I thought that's cool.
Whoa, yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Old school meets new school.
Yeah, I like that. Ingenuity.
Yeah.
Well, our next bit, let's hope that I get
Here we go.
the keypad right. I'm not sure, I can't remember which one it is, but let's try. Oh, I better turn the...
Manus Erebus.
Oh, well, it's not that one. That's your call, Zane.
Manus Erebus.
I think it's this one. It's not that one either. That was someone trying to do an A10 Warhog sound.
That's an A10 Warhog.
All right, third time lucky.
What's coming up in Gel Ball?
There it is. So that's the segment, what's coming up in Gel Ball.
I like it.
This one here. So what is coming up in Gel Ball for you that's getting you most excited? Can be anything. What are you excited for?
All metal MP5s.
As stated previously.
Yeah, look, I think there's some good blasters coming out. So you got the Terran Tactical G34, which I think most people have been waiting for a long time. They're coming out soon. All metal MP5s coming out soon. The Gas Car 98's coming out soon. So I think that's really something to get excited about, because we're starting to see some of these blasters that you probably wouldn't use generally are now coming out in a combination that actually will be really sought after. So that's exciting. A couple of milsims coming up towards the end of the year. So the Toowoomba milsim, the Restrepo
Yep.
remake, which should be fun. That's definitely got me excited. But I think cracking on with level 2 with Summit's probably the most exciting. I can't wait to run some more courses.
So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned for level 2 Summit.
Tuned, yeah.
I'll be doing it. I'll be doing it for sure.
Yeah, and for people that are still asking about patches, we're still waiting.
Yeah.
Apparently they've been sent like months ago.
Do I get a patch? Will I get a patch?
Yeah, you get a patch.
Yeah.
You get a patch. We're going to hit up another local company to do some patches for us. So we've been talking with them because it's ridiculous. It's been months and months we've waited.
Yeah.
So for those that have attended the course already, I've got like your emails and stuff, and I will let you know when those patches come in so they can be sent out to you. They won't cost anything. But yeah, there are Summit patches when you come and do the course as well. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's we're going to end it there. Nice little short conversation. For everyone else, or for everyone who's been listening, once again, where can they find you and where can they find Summit?
SummitTactical.com is our website. All our socials are on there, but Facebook, Summit Tactical, Instagram, @SummitTactical, same as Twitter. You'll generally find us somewhere posting around. But yeah, definitely give us a follow and keep up to date.
Beautiful. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you very much. If you like what we're doing here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Head on over to Summit, like and subscribe on them. Stay tuned. And apart from that, hope everyone has some happy gel balling.
See you guys next time.
See you next time.